Hello everyone, good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, good evening.
Okay. So I think today less students have joined. Why? Because of Friday or something else? Okay, so shall we start? Okay, so let me know if you guys have any doubt. Everyone have practiced that, right? Whatever we have covered yesterday. Any doubt, guys?
Yes, Nikita. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, and I don't have any doubt. It's just the
Hmm.
Windows to Windows machine connection was not getting established, and my pirated Windows is the only reason, I guess.
Okay, so we will see that like later we will use SSM to connect with the Windows machine, okay?
Sure.
Okay, and mostly we'll use in real time, mostly we'll use Linux or any one of the Linux flavor. Either you will use Amazon Linux or Ubuntu, CentOS, like that only. CentOS will not use in real time. Sometimes we can use that only for the development purpose. But for the production, if you want to use, you can use Red Hat. Okay, Amazon Linux, Red Hat, Ubuntu, those things we will use mostly.
Okay.
Fine, so let me share my screen.
One thing, every time when we will start the instance, do
Hmm.
you need to download that remote desktop file or once we can download and revisit?
See, for each instance, that remote desktop file is different. Okay, so whenever you will download remote desktop file, what you have you have to download that desktop file because that desktop file contains all the details about your machine, like the your public
IP.
IP address, DNS, right?
Okay.
So those things it contains. So for each of your instance, your Windows that file, okay. So that file will be different. Okay, it will be not the same because that is not that is not a software. That is simply a file. Okay, like that is not kind of it is that is providing interface for that specific instance. Fine. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Anyone else have any doubts? Yeah. So many people are facing issues, I think. Gaurav, is there any problem?
No, ma'am, no.
Okay. And Siddharth, he left the session. I think he's facing some issues. Okay, fine then. We can start now. Everyone joined, right? Sanju, you have joined 3 times. Are you facing any issues? Okay, fine. Let me share my screen. Let me know if it's visible, okay? Okay, is this visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So yesterday we have discussed about the types of instance and then types of instance according to the pricing, as well as we have also have seen how to launch the Windows server, as well as how to launch one Linux instance, Linux EC2 instance, right? And how to connect with the Linux EC2 instance. So we have seen the basic configurations. There we need to include few more things. Okay, so basically, if you want to launch the EC2 instance, you need to configure, we only have used the basic configurations there. So we will see now the advanced configurations, how we can configure the things for our EC2 instance, right? So we will directly see the hands-on and there we will get some terms and I will explain you the terms one by one. Okay, so let me log into my AWS account first. So now we are going to see all of these example and hands-on by using the Linux AMI. Okay, so we will use the Linux operating systems here. So let's launch the instance first. Let's see few things, and before that let me show you few things. Okay, so whenever we are launching instance directly from here, this is the on-demand type, like on-demand instance. Okay, according to the pricing, if you will see, it's on-demand instance. If you want a reserved instance, you have to go to this reserved instance and you have to purchase a reserved instance. Okay, and then if you want a spot instance, you have to go to the spot request, and here you have to create a spot request. So then AWS will allocate one spot instance. Okay, so then if you want a dedicated host, you can allocate dedicated host from here. You have to pay a amount for that. Dedicated host is the expensive one. Fine. So these are the instance, and now if you want to check all the instance types, okay, so instance type, like whether it is a general purpose, compute optimized, you can check here. So if you will see, this C4 is compute optimized one, right? So if you will see here, you will get high CPU. Fine. So basically, if you will search for T2, that comes under the general purpose. So T2, okay, taken T2 large. Let's search only for T2. It will show all the T2 series. So here we have T2 small, which is having one CPU, 2 GB memory. Okay, so basically, and what it is saying, T2 nano is there, T2 large is there. Okay, so T2 medium, T2 micro, T2 large, and T2 2 into large. It's 8 CPU and 32 memory. Okay, it's double of your T2 large. So this is how you can check here the instance type. Other than this launch template, we will see it later when we will discuss about auto scaling group. That time we will see that. Okay, so these are the things it's done. Let's go to the instance and let's launch one instance. So while launching the instance, first we'll give name. So demo server. Okay, second we need to select the AMI. So I'm going with the same default AMI, that is Amazon Linux, and the latest version of AMI I'm taking it. Instance type here you can change it, but T2 micro is free tier eligible, so I'm taking it on. Then the key pair, right? So here you need to select the key pair. After this, it came that network settings. Okay, so here you have to click on edit network settings. So here you can specify in which availability zone you want to create. If you want to specify, then you have to select it. Otherwise, if you will not give any preference, AWS will create it according to like AWS will create it in default availability zone, that is AP South 1B for the Mumbai region. Okay, so AWS will decide on which data centers, on which availability zone it will create this resource. Fine. Auto assign public IP address is enabled. Because of this reason, whenever you launch your EC2 instance, you will get one public IP address, right? Why? Because it's enabled. Next is security group. Okay, so this you should understand properly. Security group. So what is the security group is, right? It's nothing but it's a firewall for your instance. Why we use firewall? Anyone?
Yes, to prevent the network from the unauthorized access.
Yeah, to prevent the network from the unauthorized access. And in the non-technical terms, if I want to explain you, just assume that you have deployed your applications here in one server. Okay, and you not have deployed only one application, you have deployed multiple applications. You can think like that. Okay, so what you want in this server, you have deployed one application. You want that the people from outside, they only can access my application. Okay, which is running in this server, but can't access my server. That also you have to decide, right? So whenever you will deploy your application in any of the server, what are the things you need you required for accessing it? Your IP address and port number, right? So port is nothing but it's like your, just a minute. Fine. So okay, 1 minute. We close this, otherwise I will be online. Fine. IP number and your IP address and port number you require to access your application which is running on server. Okay, so what is this port, right? So basically, to access your to connect with your applications, to connect with the servers, you need a protocol which you are going to use, and each of the protocol have its own port number. Okay, so whenever you will you will deploy any application, that application will run on a specific port number. So basically, this security group, what it will do, it will work like a firewall for your instance, which will prevent the unauthorized access for your application for your server. Fine. So basically, here we have two types of rule. One is inbound rule, and one is outbound rule. Okay, so inbound rule, what is this? This will prevent the incoming traffic. Okay, so you know that we will have always the two type of traffic. Two type of traffic means we have two type of request. Okay, first is that if you are the request which is coming from outside, okay, which is coming into your server, that is inbound, like incoming traffic. Incoming request will be incoming traffic, and your outgoing request will be outgoing request will be outgoing traffic. Okay, so basically what we are talking about the traffic, right? So incoming traffic and outgoing traffic. Fine. So incoming traffic, the request is coming from outside to into your server. So inbound rule is it will prevent that who can access your application is deployed in your server, who can access it from outside. So it will manage your incoming traffic. Okay, so what it will do, it will manage the incoming traffic. It will work as a firewall for incoming traffic. And outbound rule, you are setting the rules for the outgoing traffic, what we can access from our server. Okay, and who can access from access my application on my server, that is your incoming traffic. Okay, so basically have you understood this, what is the inbound rule and outbound rule, or do you have any confusions?
And you earlier you mentioned that IP address separated by colon and then the port number, right? To it
Hmm.
is for exposing the application to the internet, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because
See,
yeah, it's fine.
two things that can happen. Okay, first thing is that just assume that we have two servers. Let me open this paint. My drawing is not good. Let me see here. Let me show you here. We have two servers. Okay. And in this server, I have deployed one application that is running in 80 port number. Okay. It's running in 80 port number. And here I have one application. Mostly we access our application on 80 port number only. But just assume that here we have deployed one application and it's running in 8080 port number or any other port number. Okay, you can specify that. Now, what the incoming traffic will do? Okay, so here we have two rules for each of the instance that we should have a security group. Okay, so one security group will it will work like a firewall for this instance. So here also we have one security group. Okay, and here also we have one security group. Fine. So basically this application is running on 80. So what I will do, I will decide that no one else can access my application. I will decide in the security group, we will prevent that who can access our application, who can access my server, who cannot access my server. Okay. So here what I only want I assume that I only want that people only can access my application. Okay. So if I want that things, that time what I will do, I will expose only the port 80. If I will expose the 80 port number at that time using this IP address and port number 80, the people from outside, if I am using this server, right, I can send the request from here, this server to this server using this IP address and port number 80. Okay, so for this particular instance one, just assume that this is instance two. Okay, so for this instance two, this port number, like this rule, which rule I'm defining here to allow the external like traffic, your incoming traffic on this 80 port number, that is inbound rule. Okay, so here what I'm doing, I'm allowing this incoming traffic on 80 port number. So that's why this instance one, this server one can access my application here that is running on 80 port number. Fine. So this is how we are doing exposing 80 port number. What it means? It means that we are allowing 80 port number for the users. They can access my applications from outside using this particular port number. Fine. So just like that, here we are allowing it inbound traffic, right? So here your server one, it's sending the traffic at 80 port number, right? So if it's like these are connecting with each other, like your server one is requesting to access server two application. Fine. So in this case, if you will see, for the server two, it is incoming traffic. Okay, incoming traffic means you have to set inbound rule. Okay, it means you have to set inbound rule. But if you will talk about this server one, which is sending the request, right? So here it should allow the outbound rule. Like it for this particular server one, it's outgoing traffic, right? So basically it's we need to enable, like we need to expose our 80 port number in this outbound rule. We need to allow the outbound rule for 80 port number. Then only this server 2 can send the request on this 80 port number. Otherwise, it cannot do it. Fine. So basically, security group will define both the rule, inbound rule and outbound rule. Okay. If you want to give access from outside to inside, you have to set the inbound rule. If you have to give access, which you can access from your server to outside, you have to define outbound rule. That's it. Okay. So now you got the point.
Yes.
Who is sending the request, that is outbound, and who is receiving, that is inbound, right?
Yes. Fine. So if you not have set it, like if your outbound rule, if you will not allow it, then you cannot send any request on 80 port number. Like if you will send also, it will restrict, like your firewall only restrict here. Here itself it will restrict, then how it will goes to the another server and you will be not able to see your applications, right? So this is like this. So here we have two rules. Fine.
So Nikita, one more question.
Hmm.
How this server one will get to know that which port is enabled for the inbound rule on the server two? Who will tell this person that this port is enabled for this request?
Server one
Inbound.
will why the server one need to know that server two have enabled 80 port number or not. Let's see. When I want to open the facebook.com,
Uh-huh.
right? I directly give facebook.com. Just assume that instead of that, you will get the IP address and port number of their server. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So if you want to request to open that server, you will directly request it, right? Sometimes you guys do that, right? You will send the friend request to someone. You don't know
Uh-huh.
whether she will accept or not.
Uh-huh.
Confusion is there, right? So
Yes.
basically here also the same thing. We'll simply send the try. If it's blocking it, then we have to check the issue. Why it's not allowing me to like access my application. Okay.
Okay.
So in that case, they will directly contact the persons who has deployed the application, who is managing this server too, like that. Okay. So if he will be the authorized person, we will then like we will only see that we will always I think you guys have already learned the Jenkins, right?
Yes.
When you have installed Jenkins, how you have accessed the Jenkins?
IP address separated by the port number.
Port number is 88,
8080, yes, correct.
right? So that time, have you configured your security group?
Yes. We
Hmm.
allowed all traffic.
You allowed, okay, you allowed all traffic. All traffic means you are allowing all IP address, all port number.
Yes.
Okay, means if anyone is accessing it from anywhere, okay, on like any port number with any protocol, you are allowing that. So in your instance, like see, in real time that all traffic is not recommended. Okay, so that is not recommended because that is not secure, because anyone can access anything in your system. So first thing is that in your server you are not going to deploy everything publicly, right? Few things also you need to deploy privately. In that case also, if you will enable all port number, at that time anyone can access it, because just assume that I have in one server I have two application running. One is an 80 port number and one is an, just assume that one is a 9090 port number. Okay, so what you want to expose your 80 port number application publicly, but you don't want to expose 9091 publicly. So in that case, if you will enable like all traffic, people can also access 80 port number application as well as 9090 applications. So always in real time, we always need to take care of these things. We'll never allow all traffic from anywhere. Okay, even will not allow from anywhere. See here, how we'll set the traffic. Sorry, just a minute. There it is here. Okay, so how we'll create a security group? When you will see, by default, we need SSH protocols. And your Linux machine use SSH to get connected. If you will not give SSH, you will be not able to connect with your Linux machine. So it is by default, it will be there. Let's select this add security group. Okay, so just assume that I want my applications that is running on 80 port number to expose. So what I will select? I will select here the custom TCP and the port range 80. Okay, so this is, I'm giving the rule. Like on my application is running on 80 port number, I want to open this. But you also have to select the source type. Okay, so with this 80 port number, who can access it? Now you have to check that as well. So I think, do you guys know about the networkings like CIDR range, IP addresses? Do you know about that?
No,
Not
ma'am.
exactly.
Okay. So basically, I'm explaining you here in common terms. So CIDR range is nothing but it's a range of IP address. Okay, range of IP address. So it will always look like this, /24 or 28 like that, or 16 like that. Okay, so it's a CIDR block. Whenever you will create a network, in that time, like at that time, you will decide a CIDR range, like one IP address range. That IP address range will, like whenever it will create any resources within that network, it will allocate these IP address under these range only. Okay, from this range only, it will simply calculate the IP address and it will allocate those IP address within that network. Okay, or else just assume that you guys have your own local machines, right? And now your local machines have its own IP address, right? Okay, so what I don't want to expose my application publicly. My application is running in 80 port number, and I want, here we have the 17 peoples, right? So I think 16 members are there, students. Fine. So here, what I want I want that this application will be only accessible by you 16 students only. Okay. So what I will do at this time, in my server, what I will do, I will create a security group. Okay, I will create a security group. There I will select this TCP protocol like custom TCP, and I will allow the 80 port number. But whenever it will comes to the source type means from where the request will come. Okay, just like that for this server 2 application, the source is server 1. Okay, if the server 1 want to, like what I only want that server 1 only can access my server 2 application. Other than this, no one can access it. Okay, so in that case, what we will do, we will select the our source type, that is custom. Okay, so here you have few options. You can select the custom, you can select anywhere, you also can select my IP. Okay, if you will select my IP, it at that time, what it will do, see where it is. If you will select my IP, at that time, what it will do, it will take your own IP address. So this is the CIDR range of my VPC. Okay, when we will learn the VPC, I will explain you this properly. So basically, if you will give here the anywhere, means anyone can access it on 80 port number. Anyone from this world can access it on 80 port number if they will have public IP address. Next thing is that if I'm giving custom, so here we need to specify the CIDR range or the IP address range, which range of IP address can access it. Okay, so just assume that I want to give access to you guys, right? So I will collect your machine IP address, and then what I will do, I will simply give here your local machine's IP address. Here I will specify that. Then if yeah, like you guys only will be able to access it on 80 port number. So we can have source, like we can customize our source according to our need. Okay, so sometimes in some companies, if that will be the private applications, even they will not allow it, this allow the source type that is anywhere. Okay, always you have to specify some CIDR range. No one will tell you in this much details about this security group. Okay, everyone will say it's a firewall, will simply give the ports like that. So if it is confusing, let me know. I will explain it in proper way. Okay, I know that because I'm going bit in advance. So let me know if you guys are like have any confusions here. Any confusions, guys?
No, not a confusion, but for 16 people, we need to put it one by one 16 times, right?
Basically, see, if you're all 16 people, if the network will be same, okay, just assume that you all guys are working in same office. Like everyone are working in same company and in same office, in same location. Then always network will be same only, right? So in that case, we'll provide the range of IP address here. Okay, so in this case, we will provide your range. Okay, if it's like if your all the network is different, right? In that case, you have to add this custom TCP multiple times.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
just like here, I will add one range, then again I will add the security group. Again, I will apply here the allow here 80 port number. Okay, again I will provide here the CIDR range. Like this, I will add multiple times. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So anyone else have any doubts?
Yes, and these different CIDR ranges, if you will click on that drop down, it will give you multiple CIDR ranges. What does that mean? 16, 4, 8. What does that specify?
16 for that. See, when you will talk about the CID range, for that, I will take a separate session. Okay, where
Okay.
we will calculate the subnets and all. Okay, so when we will learn the VPC sessions, that time I will explain you everything. So this
Oh,
CIDR range, as I already have given you, like this type of example, like this type of things you will be able to see. Okay, so sorry, 24. Maximum we can have 32. Okay, so for this you should know what is IP address, what are the classes of IP address, types of IP address, what is subnetting, right? So many things. This is the networking concepts which we need to learn first. Okay, then only you will be able to understand it. See, this is the range of IP address. Okay, so basically, if you will talk about this, like I'm not going into the depth of this, what it will like how it will allow the like how it will allocate the IP address, right? So it will allocate the IP address like this is the first IP address. Then it will allocate like this will be the second IP address. Okay, so like this it will allocate this will be the third IP address. Like this it will go step 255 because we have 32 bits. Like IPv4 have the 32 bits, right? So in that case, it will goes to till 225. Sorry, 255. Fine. So for this, you have to understand those things. So like this, it will allocate, like it will take the IP address. If you're like after this, if it will also change this, it will also change this, right? So we have one end IP address. Okay. So so in that case, if you will If your IP address will fall in this particular range, at that time only it will allow you to access the application on 80 port number. It is like that.
Got it. Now I got
Okay.
it. Hmm.
Okay. So any other doubts, guys? Okay. No one else have doubt, right?
Not for me.
Okay, fine then. So this is security. Fine. Next is the configure storage that you already know, and we will discuss many things about this storage when we will learn EBS volume. Fine. So I'm leaving it for now. It is enough. Let's go to the advanced details. Okay. So just like as of now, just ignore all of these things. The main thing is there, that is user data. Okay. So this is user data. So do you guys know shell scripting?
Yes.
Okay. What is this? Like how will write shell script? Do you know?
Didn't practice that, but yes, it is. This topic has been covered. I didn't practice Linux again.
Okay. Okay, fine. No problem. I was asking directly. See, shell scripting is nothing but the group of Linux commands. That's it, right?
Correct.
So now if you will see here, this is, I have selected the Linux operating system here. If you will see, I have selected Linux operating system. So here I just need to use Linux commands. Like if this user data is nothing but it's a script which we want to execute while launching our EC2 instance. Okay. So just assume that I want to install Git while launching this EC2 instance. So what I will do, I will write here the command. Let's give the shebang operator. You guys know about this, right? Bin bash. And after this, we have to write the command. So in Linux, if you want to install something, first of all, you need to become the root user. So I have written the first command, that is sudo su. So and after this, what I want to install Git. So yum install Git. I also want to install Java. So let's install it. Yum install Java 17. I'm installing it. -y. You know these commands, right? So basically, I have installed Git. I want to install Git and Java. So this is my script. So user data is nothing but the script which you want to execute just after launching the EC2 instance. Okay, while launching EC2 instance only, it will include this script execution. So now you also can have a file, and if you have any installation and configuration file, you have to choose that file, and then you can directly launch the instance. Okay, so let's see. We will directly check it directly by connecting it directly from here itself, and we will check whether our Git and Java has been installed or not. If you will not give the proper, okay, it will take some time. Let me refresh it once. Fine. So to check the Git version, we'll always use git ---- version. You know these commands. So
Yes.
sorry, I have given by mistake. I have given space. See, Git has been installed.
Hmm.
Let's check the Java version. Sorry, Java is not available. Why? I think this command was having some issues, so it was not available. Okay. So basically that command, I think,
I think what
it-
Java.
have I given the wrong command? Like
Yeah,
any
I
spelling
think
mistake
yes.
was there?
I think it's Java space hyphen small v. I believe.
Okay, I not have given -y. I was like, I have given v. I think some type error. That's why it's not installed. It otherwise it installed the Git, right? Just like that, it should install Java as well. It was my typing mistake or something. So this is user data. Okay. So understood. These are the main configurations of your instance. First thing is that name. AMI, then your instance types, and after that the key pair, and then network settings. In network settings, we have few more things like VPC and all. That things we will discuss later when we will learn VPC. If you want to select availability zone, you have to select it. And the next is security group. Okay, so these are the important things. Next, we have the volume, like the storage, and then this user data. So clear?
No, I'm having one question. Just
Hmm.
have a typing error mistake. So I cannot correct it, right? We have to create again a new instance for that,
We
right?
see, we cannot change our user data again, but if you want to down install it now, you can connect your instance, right? So you just connect with your instance and
After
then you can
connection,
download
we
your,
can install it.
yeah, we can install it, right? I was executing the command here. Yum
Yeah.
install, sorry.
I
Okay,
have
just
one
take
doubt
mobile
also.
system, right?
Yes, sorry.
Just
Yeah, yeah.
how you're using in mobile system, same
No,
process.
no, directly, I just connected directly from the browser itself, okay?
Uh, Nikita, hello.
Hmm,
Mosam. Yeah, I have one doubt. Means
hmm,
you have downloaded this Java, yes? So
hmm.
can you edit that file again in this instance and then you can try like this, after the running the
Yeah,
instance?
we can check for the user data, right? But we cannot
Okay.
modify it, okay? So
Okay.
let me check
Only.
it. I think it should be in manage instance. Okay, not sure. Let me check exactly, okay? Because I not have checked it. Image and template, monitoring, troubleshooting. It should be in view details or something. It's showing simply the details, right? 1 minute, let me check for this then.
Yeah,
Mm,
okay, sure.
instance setting, I think it's having somewhere. I also have checked it earlier. See, edit user data. Okay, we can edit it. See, we cannot edit it. We only can copy.
Yeah, okay.
You first need to stop your instance. So you can stop it and then you can edit it, okay?
Okay.
If your instance is running, you cannot edit it. But if you want to edit it, you have to stop your instance and then you again go to this edit user data and you will be able to edit it. In C,
Yeah, perfect.
install Java 17. It has installed Java 17. See, I again run the command. It's showing this. This is already installed.
Yeah, it is installed. And I believe to
Right?
check the version, it's Java space hyphen V, small
It's
v.
it's okay. Like we can use -v also.
Uh,
Uh, I think I have given wrong.
Command is wrong to check the version, yeah.
I think it was taking some time that time. It was in process and I have checked it, I think.
Yeah, Java is installed, but the command to check the version is, I think, something else in this
No, 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 I
list.
have provided 17th only, right? Here, if you will see.
I hope it is a hyphen version. I hope so.
Yes, we can use hyphen version. We can use hyphen version. It is showing the version, right?
Yeah, Nikita, it will take some time for the
Yeah.
installation purpose.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
like earlier, what was happening? Like it was, like until it will not install, it was in pending state. But now it's like it started the instance, like directly, right? When we launched the instance, it started running. So I think that was the issue. Like after this only, it was processing. So that's why that time we didn't get the like Java version, but now we are getting it because when I have executed the command, it said like it's already installed. So it worked. Any doubts?
Not for the installation part, but yes, for the version part. I think we are missing the command to check the version.
Sorry, command version.
Yeah,
Okay.
to check the
See,
version, I think we are missing the command. In
no, it
Ubuntu,
has
we know,
installed.
but we didn't practice on this Amazon AMI Linux.
1 minute. Let me show you. What I have given the command yum install Java 17 star -y. Means 17th version I just want to install, and 17 after this I have provided star so that it can take any version under the 17th. Okay,
Okay.
17th release. So it will take just if you will check here the Java 17th, it has downloaded 17th 17.0.14.
Okay, yes, now it is showing. I missed this part.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
before
it's
it showed,
installed it,
actually
right?
did not say, okay.
Okay. At the starting, it was not showing, but after some time, it was showing because
Correct.
I think it was processing in background.
Yeah, yeah, correct, correct.
Okay.
I
Okay.
missed this part, but now I saw this. Sorry.
Okay. Fine then. Any other doubts, guys?
No.
No.
Okay. Now we have many things here, like if you want to connect, if you want to view the details, manage the instance state, if you want to start a stop instance, you can select this. In this instance setting, you have many things. We will discuss it one by one. Okay. If you want to change the termination protection, like, see, now we can terminate it directly. But what if you want to, sorry, what happens? Okay, if you will to prevent your instance from being accidentally deleted, you can enable the terminations. You can enable this. Okay, so at that time it will ask you some key pair to upload or something. It will happen. I not have tried earlier, but it will ask some, like once it will ask like when you will terminate. Let me check if it's okay, deleted when the instance is terminated. Okay. So it's simply giving this message, right? Other than that, delete on termination, it's opened, it's saying, but you can terminate it. Okay. Fail to terminate this instance. May not be terminated, modify invisible API terminated instance attributes and okay. So if you don't want that anyone can terminate your instance in that time, you can like you can enable this delete on protection, like delete termination protection. So in that case, if anyone wants to delete it, even if you want to delete it, you cannot delete your instance. So first you have to disable this and then only you can terminate it. Okay. So this also I not have tried earlier. Many things are there that can be missed. Okay. So because in daily life we don't use these things directly, right? So here this is the new things. Like this is not the new things, but it is new for me as well. Okay, so change the stop protection. If you will change the stop protection, if you will enable it that time, no one can stop your instance. Shutdown behavior, no one can shut down it. Okay, auto recovery behaviors and all user data is there. If you want to manage the tags, if you want to add any tags, you can give it. Fine. So these are the things it is there in instance setting. Network settings, we will discuss it later. Okay, security settings also we will discuss it later. This security group, if you want to change, you can go to this and you can change it. And this IAM role and all we will discuss after learning IAM. Okay, next thing is that you have image and templates, and these things also we will discuss when we will learn auto scaling group and monitor and troubleshooting. Okay, so this we will see when we will learn CloudWatch. So basically in our syllabus, they have mentioned CloudWatch in like in this EC2 section only, but we will learn CloudWatch separately as a tool. Fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. And that is a monitoring tool, right?
Yes, we will learn. That is not monitoring tool, that is monitoring service.
Service, okay.
Okay. We will learn that separately. That is fine, I think. Because here only if I will include, you will get confused. Fine. So we have few more things. After this, I always start with storage. Okay. So till now, we have covered everything about the EC2 instance, right? So if you guys have any doubts or if you feel like if I missed anything, please let me know.
No, not for me.
Okay. One thing we missed here, that is elastic IP. Okay. We will discuss that. So let's see. Have you noticed that whenever you will restart your instance, your public IP address will get changed? Anyone have noticed that?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
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 Yes, yes.
What will do to prevent that? See, if your application is running in this server and you want to access that application, you have provided someone this IP address and port number, right? So basically to access your application, you cannot use here the public IP address. Why? Because this is frequently changing. Like if you will stop your instance, restart it, it will get changed, right? So In this case, what we'll do, we will use elastic IP address. Okay, so elastic IP address also it's have like private IP and public IP, but mostly elastic IP we will use to replace our public IP address. And you also can say it's a kind of static public IP address. It's a static public IP address. So when you will create, like when you will allocate elastic IP and attach it with your server, this public IP address will get replaced with your elastic IP address, and then it will not get changed. Okay, so if you want to check it, let's see. And one more thing I will like interesting about this elastic IP address, that if you will allocate elastic IP and if you will attach it with any service, then it will charge you, like it will not charge you that much, like normal charges it will take for that resource itself, not for the IP address separately. Okay, but if this elastic IP is not attached with, let's just assume that you have elastic IP here and then you not have attached that with any of the service, in that case it will charge you heavily. Okay, so whenever you will allocate the elastic IP address, please try to release that elastic IP address, means try to delete it. Okay, so basically here click on allocate elastic IP address. You have to select this network border group, means here the reason, and then you don't need to do anything, just click on allocate. It's created it. You want to attach it with your instance, click on action. Associate elastic IP address. Here you need to associate it with the instance, and here you need to select your instance on which you want. Okay, so and if you want to specify any private IP address, you can specify, that is yours. 137 it's showing, right? Sorry, 237, it's that only. Let's associate it. My IP address is 244.5, right? Now let's go this. See, this was only the private IP address which it was asking there, right? So if you will see 2445. Now let's try to stop your instance and restart it. Okay. It stopped, right? Let's restart. See, even if when you have stopped your instance, at that time also it was earlier it was removing this IPv4 address, like public IP address, but as of now it not have removed. See, now it's again running, but your IP address didn't changed. Okay, so if you want anywhere the static public IP address where you can you want to use, you have to use their elastic IP address. Fine. So if you want to delete your elastic IP address, let me explain you how to do that. Okay, so where it is here. Okay, so first of all, you have to go to the action and click on this. First, you have to deassociate it, otherwise it will not release it. Okay, so after after this, you have to release elastic IP addresses. Let's release it. Okay, it's done. So this is how you can use elastic IP address. Fine. So any questions till now?
I just want to ask, can we give the same IPv for private address as the public IPv4 address while making it static elastic IP public address?
We can't give it, right?
We can't give it, okay.
Let's see. When it was asking, when we were allocating our IP address, right? That time it was asking me, like when we were associating it with instance, at that time it was given me the options called private IP address, right? So that
Yeah.
Whenever you are assigning, right? So just like it will know that this is static IP address, like this elastic IP address will get this private IP address. So this, because of this combinations only, it is asking. Okay. So other than that, we cannot use private IP address in place of public IP address. Okay, that we cannot do. That's why we need public IP address. See, if the both IP address will be the same, it will be more confusing, right?
Yeah.
So we
True.
can't use it.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
One elastic IP address will get to connected to only one instance, right?
Yes.
And you told it will be chargeable. If we don't associate, then it will be chargeable. If we will associate it, then it is okay, na?
If it is associated, then it will charge only for the resources, right? Like,
Okay.
if you have associated with instance, so it is charging for instance. Okay. And but if you will not allocate it, like if you will not associate it, at that time it will charge for your that particular IP address only, and that will charge very heavily. Okay. But and in free tier, you can't use the elastic IP address. But for the practice purpose, if you are using IP address, then please like remember and please release that. Okay, as soon as possible. Okay.
Okay. The first we need to deassociate it, and then we want to release it. We have to release
Yes. If it's associated with any resource, then you cannot release it. Okay.
it. First deassociation must be done.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. If it's in use, then you cannot release it.
Hmm.
Because sometimes just assume that you have associated with any instance and someone else have released that IP address. Then your production will be down, your application will be not accessible. So that is the big things, okay? We cannot take risk on that.
True.
Okay. So if you guys are okay with this instance things, and if you want to practice few things, like if you want to launch your instance with user data and all, I can give you time, and then we can start with the storage.
Yeah, sure. Let us try that.
Okay. 5 minutes is enough, right?
Yeah.
Okay then.
Uh,
Fine.
I have one doubt, Nikita. Means,
Yes.
hello. Yeah. So, what is the difference between IPv4 address and IPv6 address? Means we cannot show here. Yes. Like,
Mm, okay. So
yeah.
IPv4 address have 32 bits. Okay,
Okay.
and IPv6 address have your 128 bits. Okay, so
Okay.
we
That
will
is
discuss
pretty.
these details when we will when we will conduct one networking class. Okay, before
Okay.
VPC, one class will be allocated for the same topic. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And like one more difference is there, that IPv4 have only the digits, and IPv4 have only digits, and IPv6 have like it's a combination of alphanumeric characters. Okay,
Okay.
so we will discuss that, don't worry. Okay, guys, so I'm giving you take 6 minutes. We will start again at 9:05.
Sure.
Let me know if you have any doubts.
Sure. Yeah, it's launched. I just installed Git and I can see that.
Everyone done?
Yes, I just gave a command to install Git
Hmm.
and I was able to see that.
Okay, fine. Rahul's done. Abhishek?
Yeah, ma'am, it's done.
Okay. Gaurav, Hemant. Okay, Hemant done. Visali, Jainab, Shashank. Is it done? Sanju? Yeah, done. Okay, nice. Minali done. Fine. Visali? Jainab, are you there?
Yeah, it's done.
Okay, it's done. Okay, great. Fine then. Okay. So completed with the EC2 instance, you can try, you can practice using the different operating system, but don't take the Mac one, okay? Otherwise your account will get suspended. So don't use Mac, like Mac operating system, Mac EMI. Other than that, if you want to take Ubuntu and like CentOS and all, if you want to try, you can try. Fine. Next thing,
Yeah,
we
but
will
these
discuss
commands
about,
will only work for Linux-based distributions, right?
sorry.
Not for the Windows. These commands, the command which I wrote there to install the Git,
Hmm.
this will work for the Linux-based operating systems, not for the Windows even, right?
Yes, because it's a Linux command, right?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
you
it's
said
like,
that Mac. Don't try it for Mac. I thought we can try it for Windows as well.
and this is for the CentOS flavor, like Red Hat flavor. Amazon Linux, CentOS, Red Hat, these have the package, like installer package that is Yum. If you
Yeah, yeah.
will Ubuntu, you have to use apt in place of Yum, right?
Correct, correct.
Hmm. So if you want to use this user data for Ubuntu, you have to, sorry, for Windows, you should learn some your Windows bash command. Okay, like how you will execute the command, but whatever you will execute here in CMD, right? Just like in
Yeah,
CMD, we will do dir to list out all the files and folders. But in Linux, we will do ls. Right, so you should like write the script on bash language, like bash script you have to write there, Windows bash script. Okay, fine. Now next thing. So let's move forward to the storage part. So first of all, we will discuss what is cloud storage. Okay, so here you know that cloud storage is nothing but the storage somewhere present in the remote location, and we are accessing that via internet. Fine, that is only the cloud storage. So via the cloud, we are accessing some storage. We are storing the data in one of the storage which is located in remote location. Even we don't know where it is located. Fine. So basically, that is cloud storage. That is and we can assume that that is present on internet. Fine. So now if you will see, why do we need to need the cloud storage and all these points are written here. I'm covering here itself. Okay. So advantages of using the cloud storage. Okay. So the first advantage is that data is accessible from any part of the world with the help of internet, as it is stored online on servers. So the first thing is that if you are storing your devices, see, we have many storage devices, right? Physical storage devices we have. Like we have pen drive, we have hard drive, we have CD, like that compact disc is there, right? So I think here many years experienced candidates are also there who already have used CD, right? Do you guys know about CD? No.
No.
Compact disc, that circle one in between, that you guys were had like there was some hole
Yeah,
and There we
yes.
had,
Yes, yes.
yes,
Yeah.
DVD, CDs, right?
Oh, compact is CD. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, I
Yeah,
was
we
talking
had.
about like CD and DVD like that. I think many people are here from the 90s, so
Yeah.
the 90s kid always have used those things, right?
Yeah, we
So
have used floppy as well.
sorry?
Floppy as well we have used.
Yes. So basically, earlier days, like nowadays also, if you are using the physical device to like to store your data, right? So what's the problem is like you will face first. Okay. So the first problem which you will face here, that is like you have to carry your device everywhere wherever you want to use that data, right? So if you have a pen drive and in that pen drive, if you have data, you have to carry that pen drive wherever you need that data, right? So you have to carry the device. What if something will happen to that device, or if you will lose that device? You will lose all of like all of that data, right? All of those data you will delete, like you will lose. So basically, here instead of using the clouds, instead of using the physical storage, if you are using here the cloud storage, right? So now you have stored your data in somewhere on cloud, and now you can access it from any part of the world. Only you should have the authorizations or authentication, means you should have your username and password, and then you can access it from any part of the world. Fine. So basically, it's stored online and on any servers. It is stored somewhere and we are accessing it via internet. So we can access it from any device, from any part of the world. Fine. Next thing. Data can be shared easily between person or devices with cloud storage. Its communications is very easy by sharing, like as the sharing is done automatically by providing a link like Google Drive. Okay. Now, I'm doing one thing, like I'm uploading GitHub, on GitHub, I'm uploading the files and then I'm sharing only the link to you, that GitHub link. And now you are able to see all of that files and you are able to download that. How? Because that GitHub repository that is available, like that is storing my files on the internet. Okay, somewhere in the remote location, it is storing my like files, just like the Google Drive is also like the same, right? Your GitHub repository is same, your Google Drive is same, where you can store your files, you can store your data, and if you want to share the data, you directly can share one link, and that like easily you can communicate with the data, and you can share that data. Fine. So instead of that, if you will store your data on pen drive, in that case, if you want to transfer it to your friend's laptop, how you will do? It's raining heavily here, so I think if there will be a power cut, then we will have a 5 minutes break, okay? So after 5 minutes only, my Wi-Fi will restart. Fine?
Yeah, sure.
Sure,
Okay, so
sure.
please, if it will, like if there will be the power cut, please wait for 5 minutes. Fine. So here, let's come to the topic again. So if you will use a pen drive, if you want to share the data, just assume that you have a recorded sessions and now you want to share it with your friends. So what you will do, you will ask your friends like, pen drives, just give me one pen drive. I will transfer all the data there, and then uh, you can transfer it to your laptop. It's like that. Otherwise, you can use phone, right? From phone, you will saying a closed caption transcripted. Okay, fine. So sometimes what it will like, you can also use the phone to share the data, right? Like you will transfer your data from your laptop to phone and then from phone to another laptop. Directly, can you transfer it from your laptop to laptop? No, if you can
No.
transfer also, at that time also the another laptop should be near to your laptop, right? So both will be both should be available at the same place, then only you can share the data. Fine. So that is, sharing the data is difficult if you are using physical device. That is the main point. But if you are using your cloud storage, it's very easy to share the data. Next thing you have, companies need not worry about the maintenance of the storage device as it's managed by your service provider. So I have given just the example of CD and the DVD drive and all, right, compact disc one. So when you were using that, have you seen that in like we were getting that movie CD, right? And we were watching movie, and you have to store that very properly, right? If you are not storing it properly, and if there will be a small scratch also, that videos will get stuck and it will do the kitch kitch sound or something, right? And the linings will comes like that,
Yeah.
right? So basically, you have to maintain all of those things, all of the devices. If you are purchasing a pen drive also, you have to maintain that pen drive, right? So here, in case of cloud storage, your cloud provider will maintain your storage devices, as well as it will also provide a better security. Fine. So data is protected easily with the cloud rather than with the storage device, as the user need not worry about the hiding device from intruders. Data is stored safely. You should only have to keep your authentication like difficult things. Like if you 1 minute, it's very disturbing. Just a minute, okay? Give me a minute. Okay. So what we were discussing about storage, right? So about the security. Fine. Anything else? So anyone have any doubts till now?
No.
Okay, fine then. Fine. So we were saying that if you want to if you want to secure your cloud storage, you only have to write you only have to keep a secure password, right? Some difficult password you need to keep it, and then only no one can access your storage, right? So just like if you have any confidential data in your pen drive, you always have to keep that in locker or something. You will always keep that safely, right? But in case of cloud storage, you don't need to worry about those things. And here, if in case of your like physical devices, can you keep the backups? Can you keep the backup of the data?
In the devices?
Yes, for the physical device, if you have the data in your pen drive, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to keep the backup of those data, can you keep it?
Yeah, we can.
Yes, you can. But it will charge you more, right? Because just assume that if you have data of 5 GB and if you have stored that in one pen drive,
Mhm.
okay? Now, if you want to keep the backup of that, at that time, what you have to do, you have to purchase a new pen drive with 5 GB of data. You
Hmm.
have to purchase a new other storage device, and that will cost you more, right? So
Hmm.
basically, you have to transfer that from one pen drive to another pen drive, and many things are there that you need to do. You have to manage there, right? But here in case of cloud storage, you can easily create a backup, and you also can sync that backups like to storage, so that whenever you will create like anything, say whenever you will add any data in storage one, automatically it will it will be replicate to your storage number two, which is the backup one. Okay, so this is one advantages of using cloud storage. These are the another advantages. Money can be saved due to its maintenance, buying physical device, the space to keep devices, and supporting staff to do the work needed. Fine. Once moving all files to the cloud, the system will have lots of space. In short, the system is free of any large files and can work freely. Just like that, if you have any like always in your phone, if you have more data and if your phone will like it will be work slow, at that time what you do, directly you transfer your few of the files and your photos and videos to Google Drive, and then you delete it from your local machine, right? So that is one thing, like you can use cloud storage. You are simply renting the storage there, so you store your data there and your devices will be free, so it will work smoothly, it will work freely. Fine. A copy of data is stored locally near to the user's region, and it helps in regulatory compliance of the data. So whenever you want to use the cloud storage, it will get stored, like your cloud storage will always be nearer to your region. Okay, so that whenever you want to access the data, it will take less time and you will get your data. Okay, so when data is stored in physical device, one should be careful about the virus attacks. It relieves the users from such kind of burden if you are using cloud storage. Fine. So these are the like advantages of using cloud storage. Fine. So instead of using the physical devices, if you want to use cloud storage, these are the advantages. And I have already discussed the difference between those two, right? So if anyone have any questions, let me know. Then we'll go with this AWS, like types of AWS storage services. Anyone have any questions?
No.
Okay, fine. Fine. So these are the three types of storage service which your AWS provide. First is the block storage, then file storage, and then object storage. Okay, so what these kind of storage, right? Let me discuss these. So if you will create a block, like if you are using the block storage, if you want to use, like if you want to take the block storage, so what it will have, this block storage will store the data in a block format. Block format means just assume that you want to store like you want to store a data, a file, or a image, one image. You can consider it like any data you want to store it. So if you want to store it in block storage, what this block storage will do, this block storage will divide it into the multiple parts. Okay, multiple blocks, it will divide it, and then it will store it here. Okay, sorry. So it's not going to store it as a complete object, complete file. It will divide it into the multiple parts, multiple blocks, and then only it will store it here in this block storage. As a block, it's going to store it so that it can store more objects. Okay, sorry, more data. So basically, this is the block storage, and this each blocks will not have any metadata. Okay, so these blocks will not have any metadata. These blocks will only have the index number. Like it will only give you the, like it will only mark these blocks with the index number like 0, 1, 2, like that. Okay, and whenever you want to retrieve the data, it will not provide you as a block. It will provide you the entire data once only. If you want to see that data, you will be able to see the entire file, not the blocks. Fine. So this is the block data. Fine. Next, you have the object storage. This is the block storage, right? Next, you have the block object storage. So object storage is the kind of storage which is going to store the data as it is, as an object. Okay. Just like if you have image, it will store the entire image at once only. It will store it as an object itself. That is your object storage. Fine. Next, you have the file storage. File storage, what it will do, generally we'll use this file storage for sharing the files. Okay, so it will be the common file storage for multiple EC2 instances. Okay, so where they can store the file, and whenever they will store any files here, all of those 3-4 instances which is connected with this file storage can see these files, can modify these files, and can use these files. Okay, so basically for the file sharing, we will use here the file storage. So now, if you will see here, for the block storage, your AWS will provide the storage service, that is EBS. Okay, EBS stand for Elastic Block Storage. Fine. As well as it, there is one more block storage in AWS that I think you guys not have heard about that. This is instance storage. We will discuss about these as well, but nowadays we are not going to use this instance storage anywhere, but we will see the basic definitions of this. Next, we have the object storage, right? So for this object storage, your AWS will provide the storage service, that is S3. Okay, what it stands for? Simple storage service. Fine. And for the file storage, It's giving one service, that is EFS. Okay, that's nothing but elastic file system. Fine. So these are the three services which is provided by your AWS: block storage, object storage, file storage, and the service name is EBS, instance storage S3 EFS. So mainly we will learn EBS, S3 and EFS. So the most important is EBS and S3, and EFS is not that much important because we can only use this with Linux. We will see this like this on also in details, and we will also see the hands-on for this EFS. Fine. So let's start with the instance storage first. So I will simply give you one example, and we can compare that with the physical devices because we have the properties of this just like your physical storage device. Okay. So now if you will see here we have one for the first volume, that is instance store volume, and this only we call it as an instance storage. Okay, it's provided temporary block storage for your instance. Okay, this is also one kind of block storage, but it will it will store the objects temporarily. Means if you will stop your instance, this will get removed. Like whatever the data you will have stored inside this particular storage, that will be deleted. Okay, so because of this reason only we don't use this instance storage because it's not static. It's only storing the objects temporarily. Fine. So here we have this, that is instance storage, and that storage is just like your hard drive. Okay, hard drive means this is the storage which is physically attached with your instance. Okay, so just like your just like your hard drive, your hard disk, that is physically attached with your laptop, with your system, right? Here also your instance storage is just like that. It's physically attached with your instance, but nowadays we are not going to use as a root volume and all, so you cannot see this as of now. So okay, so here as I already have told you, there is one thing is that root volume. So what is root volume? We have discussed that, right? What is this? No one is responding. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. You told this us yesterday as well. I'm missing that. Uh, I think this is the memory location which we will get on the databases to get our instance stored.
Hmm. Okay. Good, Hemant. It's just like a C drive in Windows OS, right? So root volume is the volume where we are going to install our operating system and other softwares. Okay. So here we have two types of volume, which I already have told: bootable volume and non-bootable volume. Okay. Non-bootable volume. So here, bootable volume is the volume which we can make as root volume. Okay, so bootable volume, we can make that root volume, and non-bootable, we cannot make it as a root volume. It means that the volume where we can install operating system, that is your bootable volume. Okay, and where we cannot install operating system, that is non-bootable volume. So in the non-bootable volume, where we will use only to store the files and only to store the data. Okay, data means if you want to store some image, videos, files, text files and all, in that case, you can use this non-bootable one. But if you want to store, like if you want to install softwares on that time you must have to use the volume, bootable volume. Okay, so here you have this instance storage is bootable volume. But anyway, this instance storage, it's a temporary volume. So if you will install your operating system on this, it will get deleted, it will get removed when you will stop your instance and restart your instance. So because of this reason also, we don't use this instance storage. So instance storage is just like your hard drive. Why? Because it's physically attached with your instance, and it is a bootable volume, and it's a bootable storage. Just say this, it's a bootable storage, and it's provide the block storage. Like it's store the data as a block. Fine. This is first instance storage. Next, you have EBS. So for the EBS, we will discuss in very detail. It's an elastic block storage, right? So here it is just like your pen drive. Okay, so basically, if you will see here, like whatever the like properties you have for your pen drive, the same properties we have for this EBS. Okay, so we will discuss all of those properties one by one. First of all, let's see, it's a bootable storage. Bootable storage means you can use it as a root volume, means you can install your operating systems and softwares on this EBS volume, and it will also provide the storage type, that is block. It will also provide you the block type storage. Let's discuss its properties one by one. Okay. So let's go to the EBS volume. So Amazon Elastic Block Storage provides persistent block storage volume for use with EC2 instance in the AWS cloud. So how we will use it? We'll always use it with EC2 instance. Fine. Each Amazon EBS volume is automatically replicated within its availability zone to protect you from component failure, offering high availability and durability. Okay, so it will automatically replicate to the like within one availability zone. It is going to replicate. Okay, it will create a replica for your EBS volume, so that if something will happen to one EBS volume, it can use, like it can have the backup. So that AWS will do it. You cannot check that. Okay, so you will be not able to see its replica, but if you want to create its another applications, like if you want to keep the backups and all, it's very easy to keep the backup of EBS volume. We will see it's in hands-on. Okay, so EBS volume data persists independently of the life of instance. See, as I already have told you, the features of EBS volume and pen drive is always like it's almost same. Like, can you store your data in your pen drive without attaching with your EC2 instance? Okay, can you do that? See,
Means
can your data persist independently in your pen drive without attaching it with your uh, laptop or with your server? Just assume that you have stored the data in pen drive, right? Now you want to store that data. In that case, like, do you need to connect it every time with your system, or can you store it without connecting it with the instant, like independently you can store your pen drive, right? See, whenever you want to you have any data in your pen drive, you can store it, right? You can store it anywhere. Whenever you want to use the data, like whenever you want to use the data, at that time only you will attach that with server, right? Mean it's your applications or with your laptop or with your computer you will attach, and then only you will get the data, right? So basically, in case of pen drive, you have stored some data there. If you want to transfer the data from laptop to pen drive, in that case, you will attach that pen drive. Otherwise, if you want to use that data of pen drive, in that case, you will attach that with your laptop or your computer, right? So here also EBS volume have the same properties, okay, same feature. So you can store your EBS volume, like you can store data in your EBS volume without attaching with your EC2 instance, okay? This data can persist independently from your EC2 instance. But if you, whenever you want to use that data, that EBS volume data you want to use, or any data you want to store in EBS volume, in that case, you have to attach it with your EC2 instance. Okay. So just like you can say that this EBS volume is just like the pen drive, you can detach it anytime, you can attach it anytime with your laptop. Fine. So this is your EBS volume. So next is that you can have, okay, let me explain you one by one only. Okay, EBS volume do not need to be attached to an instance every time, but whenever you want to access the data, at that time you have to attach with your instance. We can attach multiple EBS volume to an instance. See, let me know one thing, like if you have the port, can you attach multiple pen drive to one laptop? Can you do that?
into that single port?
No, if you have multiple ports in your laptop, then
Yes, we can. If we have
Sorry.
3 ports,
Yes, if you have 2 ports and 3 ports, at that time you can attach your pen drive, 3 pen drive or 4, whatever, how many ports is there, you can attach it, right?
yeah,
But just let me know, can you attach one pen drive to multiple computers at once only?
no.
No.
No, right? The same thing we have here for EBS. Okay, so we can have like one instance can have multiple EBS volumes. If it needed more storage, we will create an EBS volume and then we will attach it with that instance. That instance will get more storage. Okay, but one EBS volume can be only attached with one EC2 instance. Okay, and if you want to use this EBS volume with another instance, first you have to detach it and then you can attach it with another instance. Just like that, if you want to connect your pen drive with the different laptop, first you will detach it from your laptop and then you will attach it with the different laptop. It's like that. Fine. So EBS volume have all of these features just related to pen, like it's similar to pen drive. If you will compare these, you will like, if you are not getting any features of EBS volume, just think about the pen drive. Okay. The only difference is that we can install operating system here. Okay, in EBS volume. So I think in pen drive also we can do it, right? I not have used that. Many people can store their OS and software files and all, right, in pen drive, on pen drive.
Yeah. In Pandas, you can store OS. Yes, correct.
Right. But you cannot use directly that in your laptop. First, you have to install it on your hard drive, right? In case of system, in case of laptop.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So how the EBS volume will work? Always it will be attached to one EC2 instance, and after attaching it with the EC2 instance, on this EBS volume, we will run our application. Okay, so EBS volume will get attached with instance, and on this EBS volume, we'll run our applications again after attaching it with instance. Okay. So here the same points is written here. EBS volume is only attached to one instance at a time, but we can easily detach EBS volume and attach the same EBS volume to another EC2 instance in the same availability zone. And now the most important things is here, that is your EBS volume is aged specific service. Okay, so we already have discussed your EC2 is reason specific service. Region specific service means if you have created it in Mumbai region, it will not go across that region. Fine, it will not, that particular EC2 instance will be not available in North Virginia and Tokyo region or any other region, right? Your EBS volume is aged specific service. Okay, aged specific service means it's availability zone specific service. If you have created EBS volume on AP South 1B or 1A, you should have instance from the same availability zone, then only you can attach this particular EBS volume with that AC2 instance. Okay, so you cannot attach your EBS volume that is present in AP South 1A. If you want to attach it with AP South 1B instance, you cannot do it. Both the instance and your availability, your instance and your EBS volume must have to be in a same availability zone. Clear? We have some options if you want to use it in different availability zone, how we can use it, that we will use snapshot and all, that we have some solution for that. Okay, so this is the things, but one instance can have multiple EBS volume, and this is not a global or region service. This is storage belongs to an one availability zone. Fine. So till now understood what is EBS volume, what are the features of EBS volume? Did you get it?
Yes.
Okay, any
Yes.
confusions, guys? Okay, now let's see, we have some types of EBS volume. So here majorly we have two categories of EBS volume, and then each of the categories have two types of EBS volume. Okay, so we have the two categories, one is solid state drive and one is hard disk drive. Okay, so basically if you will see here, SSD is the bootable one and HDD is the non-bootable one. Okay, so eBase volume is not only provide the bootable volume, it will also provide the non-bootable storage. Means eBase volume have two categories. In one categories, it can install operating system. In another categories, it cannot install operating system. It will be only used for your storage. Okay, so basically here, if you will select SSD, that is your bootable one. If you will select HDD, it is non-bootable one. So majorly, if you will see here, we have four types of like eBase volume. One is the eBase provisioned IOPS SSD. Okay, so provisioned IOPS SSD. IOPS here means input output per seconds. Okay, see, whenever you will install operating system in your system, like in your server, at that time always you will count the speed input output as input output, right? How many input it is taking and how many outputs it's giving per second, that you will count, right? So here the basic things is that if you will have more IOPS, it means that your server, like your operating system, will work more fastly. Okay, your system will work more fastly. So basically, if you will go with this EBS provisioned IOPS, in that case, it will provide you more IOPS. Okay, it will provide you the provisioned IOPS, means high IOPS you will get in case of EBS provisioned IOPS SSD. If you will select IO1, and one more categories is there here, that is IO1 and IO2. Okay, so those are EBS provisioned IOPS SSD, where you will get more input output per second. Okay, next you have EBS general purpose SSD. Here what you will get here the normal IOPS that will be like the general IOPS you will get, that is more than enough for you to run one operating systems. Fine. So, but if you want to use, like if you are deploying a high, like heavy applications and all, right, in that case you need more IOPS. Heavy traffic application if you want to deploy, right? So in that case, you will go, like you need more IOPS. In that case, you can go with this EBS provisioned IOPS. Fine. So here we have two types. And here also you can say that here we have GP2 and GP3 two category. Okay. Next we have hard disk drive. These two are bootable. Okay. So in this hard disk drive, we have one is throughput optimized. So do you know about throughput? What is it? Okay. So throughput is nothing but like how fastly you are uploading the data. See, as it's a non-bootable one, this is not related to operating systems and all, right? So in this case, what we are doing, we are storing the files, right? And files have its own size, right? So here, this throughput is nothing but your MB per second or your KB per second, okay? So it's like that. Fine. MB per second, KB per second, GB per second, that is your throughput. Fine. So basically, how fastly it's uploading the data and how fastly it's retrieving the data. Okay, that is throughput. So if you will select this throughput optimize SSD, if you are storing a large size data, and if you want to store a heavy data in your storage, and you like at that time you will use this throughput optimize HDD, because it will provide you the high throughput. Okay, so these will not provide you IOPS, but these will provide you the throughputs as well. Okay, so why this will not provide IOPS? Because it does not have any operating system. It will not allow to install operating system, right? So it's not needed this IOPS. Fine. So it will give you the high throughputs, and cold HDD it will give you the general throughputs, just like this general SSD. Okay, so if you want more throughputs, you have to select HDD. If you want more IOPS, you have to select SSD. Fine. So basically here we have only written for the IOPS like SSD one. So here the highest performance SSD volume is designed for latency sensitive transaction workload. Okay, used for input output intense NoSQL and relational database. Volume size is 4 GB to 16 terabyte. Minimum is 4 GB and maximum is 16 terabyte you can use. This is the size of your storage. Maximum IOPS which you will get, that is 64,000 per second. Okay, so 64,000 per second, it will take the input and outputs. It will give the outputs, okay? And maximum throughput which it is giving, that is 1,000 MB per second. Okay, next you have this general purpose SSD. Here, if you will see the volume size, that is 1 GB. Okay, and the maximum size is 16 terabyte. IOPS is providing 16,000 and the maximum throughput is providing that is 250 MB per second. But if you will go for the HDD, you will get high throughputs there. Fine. So is this clear? Okay. So we will see this EBS volume versus instance storage. We already have seen instance storage, temporary one, temporary storage. Okay, and EBS volume is it's a like it's storing the data permanently as well as it's also storing the data independently from your EC2 instance. Means if you have created one EC2 instance and if you have attached EBS volume with that EC2 instance, and now what you want to terminate that EC2 instance. Then also you want to keep this EBS volume and you want to terminate EC2 instance, then you can do that. Okay, you can terminate EC2 instance, then also your EBS volume will be there. You can attach it with the different instance. Clear? So these are the differences between these two. So till now, anyone have any doubts? We will see some hands-on and then the next class we will see EBS snapshots and all. Okay, so now I have launched one instance here at that time only, right? So whenever you will launch one instance, I just shown you there that it will use root volume as a EBS volume, like it will use EBS volume as a root volume, right? So basically here, if you will check this volumes in this elastic block storage sections, if you will check the volume, it is the volume ID and it's showing this volume. It's having 8 GB of like 8 GB size, IOPS is 3000 and 125 throughput is providing, right? And volume state is in use. Okay, so if you want to attach it with any instance, see, attach option is not available. Why? Because it's already in use. Fine. So when you will terminate this EC2 instance, your EBS volume will get terminated automatically here. Why it will get automatically terminated? I said that the EBS volume can like persist independently, right? Then when I am terminating this EC2 instance, why it's getting terminated? Why it's getting deleted, right? Because we have a default setting here while launching the EC2 instance. When you will launch your EC2 instance, okay, so in the storage part, let me show you. It's refreshing the things. Let it refresh. Okay. So configure storage. Let's click on this advanced. I would just want to see all the details about this volume. Okay. So if you will see here, storage type is EBS and it's simply giving the device name and volume type it's taking GP3. See, root volume you only can select for SSD. If you will see this cold HDD in throughput optimized, it's faded because we cannot use it as a root volume. This volume type is not compatible with root volumes. So whatever you want, you can select it. By default is GP3 or GP2. Fine. Next, encrypted. If you want to encrypt your EBS volume, you can click on encrypted and it will store the data in encrypted format. Fine. Next thing is that delete on terminations. See, I was talking about one default setting. Like I said, whenever we'll terminate our EC2 instance, your EBS volume will get deleted automatically. Right? So here this delete on termination is yes. This is the default setting. If you will click it, like if you will make it no, at that time, if you will terminate your EC2 instance, like your EBS volume will get detached first, and then it will only delete your EC2 instance. EBS volume will not get deleted. Okay. So if you want to check it, let me give the key pair and then let me give the name. It's A1 and launch instance. Okay, we can try this. Now, once it will be in running state, spending, let's check. Now, both is in running state. Now, if you will check the volumes, we will get here the two volumes. Two volumes are there. Both are having 8 GB of data and 8 GB of storage size, and both are in use, and both are in the same availability zone because we not have selected age yet, right? So now, if you will delete this demo server, let's delete it. When you will terminate this server, automatically your volume will get deleted. Okay, let's terminate this as well so that we can check it whether its volume will terminate or not. Okay, demo server is it's terminated. Let's go to the volume and let's refresh it once. If you will see, there is only one volume is available. One volume got deleted and it's in use and it's attached to this particular instance, that is A1. Means demo server volume has been deleted. Fine. So now if you will see, it will be like it's in shutting down state. Once it will detach your EBS volume, then only it will shut down. So it will take more time as compared to this demo server. Okay. Okay, it's terminated. Now if you will check this volumes here, just let's refresh it. This volume is available, still it's available. But here if you will see, volume state is available. It's not in use. Why? Because you have deleted the instance. Attached resources is not available. But if you want to attach it with any instance, that instance should be in same availability zone. You can attach it directly from here. So attach volume option is not there. Why? It should show.
There are no instances, right?
Yes, but it should show, right? Even it should not show the instance, but it should show the attach option. I think that could be the reason. Let me launch one instance. Okay, it's running. Let's take this volume. Let's refresh it once. Which one is available? First one. Yes, now it's giving a test here. So I think that's because of instance, if it is not available, it will not. See, whenever you will attach any EBS volume with your instance, that instance must be in running state. Okay, that is one condition here. So you can select it, you can select the device name. So whatever the device name, you know that. If you will go to this path and if you will store any file in this particular path, then only it will use this particular EBS volume. Clear? This is the device name. Means inside this particular directory, if you will do anything, that will use this storage, this EBS volume. Fine, you can click on attach volume and then you can detach it if you again want to detach. Okay, so anyone have any doubts with this? Like, see, we can also check here how to create the EBS volume. So if you want to create volume directly from here, you can select this here, the volume type. Here this HDD is also available. Okay, so here you can select it. Here you can select your GB. Okay, so must be, so let's select this magnetic standard. This is one old version, alt type of your EBS volume. This is bootable one, but it has very limited, it only have C 1024 like GB only it's providing. I think 1 TB, right? So it's only providing that much resources. So it have some limitations. It's not providing any IOPS. It's not providing any throughputs. Because of this reason, people are not using this magnetic. Sometimes for the testing purpose and for the learning purpose, if you are simply doing the hands-on, at the time you can use it because it's the cheapest one. So availability zone, you can select where your instance is available. Okay, and then you have to click on, if you want to encrypt this volume, click on encrypt, and then you have to use KMS key. We will discuss that as well. Create the volume. So like this, you can create your EBS volume, and then you can attach EBS volume like I told how we can attach it. Okay, so let's terminate my instance first. Fine. So till now, do you guys have any doubts? Next thing we need to discuss about the eBay snapshot. As I said that eBay volume is only availability zone specific. So how we can use one eBay volume like data in with the different availability zone instance or with the different reason instance, right? So all of those things we will discuss. As well as we also need to discuss about the AMI in detail, like how we can create our custom AMI and all of those things we will see. Fine.
Yes.
Okay. So let me know if you have any doubts. One more thing I have to delete, that is this volume. Let me delete it. It's available, so we can delete. That instance will be deleted automatically, right? So it's fine. Okay. So anyone have any doubts, please let me know.
No.
Okay, I'm raising the poll then. And girls, is it clear?
Hello,
Yes, Pradeep.
Anika, I have a doubt. So when we creating an instance, so it will
Hmm.
be it has a storage, right? It's obviously EBC storage, right?
Yes.
EBS storage, right?
Hmm.
Then how it getting deleted automatically when you terminate the instance rather than creating EBS instance separately?
See, as I said that as a
Uh,
root volume in AMI only, it will be specified that which one you want to use. Like in that AMI, it's simply using that EBS volume is getting used as a root volume, right? So it's not whenever you are terminating your EC2 instance, your EBS volume is getting deleted. Why? As because of the default setting which I have shown, right? So when you will launch your EC2 instance and just expand your EBS volume, like where the storage is showing there, right? Click on advanced, it will show one option there, delete on termination. So that delete on termination, that option is already like by default, it's yes. Means
okay.
whenever you will delete your instance, your EBS volume will get deleted.
Can you show you one more again? I didn't follow up, I think so.
Sorry?
Can you show me one more again the
Yeah, sure.
settings?
I will show you one more time.
Mm.
Okay, just a minute. Let me show. Okay. So here we were launching EC2 instance, right? Is it visible my screen?
Yeah. So,
Okay, fine. So when we were launching our EC2 instance, here if you will see in this configure storage section, right? So here, if you will click on advanced, this is here in this volume one, you can add multiple volumes, right? So here you have an option called delete on termination. By
okay.
default, it's yes. Because of that reason, whenever you are deleting your EC2 instance, it's deleting your EBS volume. But if you will keep it no, at that time, it will not delete your EBS volume. It will only
Okay.
delete your instance. Then you have
Okay.
to delete your EBS volume separately.
Sure. Understand. Yeah.
Fine. So this is the things which you have to do if you don't want to delete your instance. Fine.
Okay. Understand.
Okay. Fine. So any other doubts? Anyone?
No.
Okay. So everyone have participated, right?
Yes.
Fine. Okay. Okay. Okay, then we will meet on Monday. Happy weekends, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye. Thank
Same
you.
to you.
Thank you. Bye.